After being swept by the last-place Pirates in Pittsburgh, the Dodgers have arrived at Camden Yards in Baltimore, ready to open up a three-game series against the last-place Orioles, still trying to get things turned around with just 20 games to go. 22 games to go in the regular season. First pitch coming up right here in 60 minutes. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Leadoff LA. I'm John Hartung alongside Jerry Hairston Jr., Nomar Garcia-Parra. So the Dodgers have now been swept 5 times in the last 2 months. The last time that happened, you have to go back to 2006. Now, Nomar, you were on that team in 2006, and before that awful skid, you guys went through a stretch in May where you lose 5 in a row, you're shut out, and then you decided to do something in the clubhouse with the guys.
Yeah, it was Cinco de Mayo that day, and, you know, we heard Miguel Rojas talk about, hey, we need to have a little more fun, we need to loosen up. So I decided, I said, listen, man, we got to go out there. This has to stop right here. So before we took the field, I got everybody around in honor of Cinco de Mayo and also changed things up. I said, everybody has to do a tequila shot because it is one of the nectars of the gods that we have to have together. And then we went out there and we took the field. So in honor of doing that, we got to change things up here for the Dodgers. So, guys,
here we go.
You know, this
salud.
Salud,
salud, salud, salud.
Here it is. Let's do it. So today's the day.
Vámonos, muchachos. That night ended up pretty well.
That night I did have a walk-off hit. But I am not playing today, so let's see. Somebody,
and then you had another walk-off hit the next
day too, but hey,
so maybe things are about to turn around.
Exactly.
Your thoughts?
I'll tell you what, that is some really good tequila. I feel like playing right now. The body soreness that I had coming in no longer exists. Let's roll.
We're ready to do a show. Let's get to it. Shohei Ohtani was scratched from his start 2 nights ago in Pittsburgh because he was under the weather. Now Tyler Glasnow has been scratched from his start tonight in Baltimore. Kirsten Watson is with the Dodgers at Camden Yards, and she joins us live with more on Glasnow and the plan for tonight. Hi, Kirsten.
Hi, John. Well, first, I should say I'm a little jealous of the shot you all got to take without me, but it's fine. But I did relay the information, so hopefully they will have their own little ritual before coming out onto the field today because, as you mentioned, they are looking to get back on track, back to finding that joy. And there is a hope that just with the news of today, with Shohei Ohtani having to step in due to Tyler Glasnow waking up and dealing with some back tightness, which was why he was scratched from his start, they're hoping maybe that could be a little bit of a spark for this group. Dave Roberts shared the news this afternoon and what went into the decision to have Shohei take this start.
Coming into today, early this afternoon, Tyler reported having back tightness, and so just felt that to not kind of tempt fate and to make sure that, you know, we keep it at bay. We just figured that, you know, with the back tightness and with the back, just to make sure that the hope is that we push him back a few days and he can make a start early next week. But we just didn't want to put him in harm's way. And then Shohei was up to it, feels good physically, and wants the ball tonight.
With Tyler in that back, I know you guys were hoping this is not going to be an IL stint, but just what gives you that confidence and knowing that he is going to be okay and just maybe he needs a few extra days?
I think it's just more of just trusting the player and also knowing that he wants to be out there and feeling like we got ahead of it early. And it's not something that, you know, we got to a point where he's hurt or anything like that. So it's the back stiffness, and so we feel like to not take this start will allow him to be able to start, you know, hopefully early next week.
Do you suspect this will be a normal 5 innings of work for him, or could this be a shorter outing just given the circumstances?
Given the circumstances, could be a little bit shorter. So, you know, again, he was excited about taking the baseball, but it depends on how efficient he is.
That's something that can, like, jolt you guys as a team, especially if he goes out there and like pitches well tonight, to kind of step in on short notice like that?
You know what, I think it will. I mean, for a guy who is, you know, a starter that's got a routine, that was going to pitch a couple days later, to then change course, speaks a lot to what this team means. And so I expect our guys to respond to that. Yeah.
So Shohei Ohtani was originally scheduled to pitch during that Pittsburgh Pirates series, actually on Wednesday, but due to being under the weather, they decided to push him back. So then his new start day was going to be on Monday back home in Los Angeles against the Rockies. So he has been available. Now he is still battling this chest congestion, a little bit of that colds there, but since he has been as the DH, Dave Roberts has shared that he has been feeling a little bit better day by day due to, with Tyler Glasnow just waking up, feeling that back tightness. Unfortunately, dealing with a little back situations here and there is something that he has dealt with in the past. But as Dave Roberts has shared, they do believe they've caught this early. They don't think this is going to be an IL stint. They do expect him actually to pick up a start likely early next week when the team is back home in Los Angeles. So just giving Tyler a few extra days. And Shohei, when they asked him around 2 p.m. if he'd be willing to step in, obviously not his normal routine, but for him to step in, he feels good about where he's at heading into this one tonight, guys.
Yeah, great to have someone like Shohei Ohtani that they can plug into that rotation. This spot tonight, Kirsten, thank you very much. But anytime you're talking about Tyler Glasnow and a back injury, or at least some back soreness, Jerry, we remember back in April, this is what landed him on the injured list, and he missed a couple of months. It's concerning, to say the least, that he's dealing with some back soreness once again.
It's very concerning, especially now that we're in September and we're heading down the stretch, trying to get to that postseason and have a long run in the postseason to the World Series. He is one of your difference makers when he's right. So I'm hoping it's just one of these things where it takes 4 or 5 days, it subsides, and be ready to go next week. This is really concerning because we know Tyler Glasnow, he could be one of the most dominant pitchers in all of baseball when he's healthy. But, you know, when you have a guy like Shohei Ohtani willing to go out there under the weather, he obviously skipped the start because he was under the weather, but he's willing to go out there. He plays every day. I'll tell you what, Shohei Ohtani, man, is a dude, bro. He is an absolute dude.
You know, yeah, you're concerned, obviously, because you don't know what this could lead to, because as you mentioned, we knew what it led to last time, where it was long. This is why we also said, you know, can never have too many arms. Yeah, never have too many arms. The one thing, though, that the Dodgers do have guys that now you're looking at more long relief guys where that can spot start. You have Emmett Sheehan out there, and, you know, it depends on what type of rotation you're going to. You got Robleski, and all these guys have been outstanding and have been the guys you go to when you need anything. And kudos to those young guys because they have definitely delivered. But hopefully it's not too long. Hopefully, you know, it's just a couple of days and he's back out there. We're talking about this is the playoffs, man. You need guys out there. Yep. You need your big guys out there to carry you through.
All right, well, clearly Shohei Ohtani is feeling at least a little better after dealing with that chest cold, which caused him to be scratched from pitching on Wednesday. Dave Roberts originally said Shohei was going to be pushed back to Monday to start against the Rockies. Now he's got to jump in there. Nomar pitch tonight on short notice. Hopefully he's feeling strong enough to do both, to pitch and also to DH and hit.
Yeah, it's really just about, one, how he's feeling from the illness. And because, listen, he was already building up and preparing to pitch. And obviously you get a cold and you're like, listen, maybe not the best thing. So if he's feeling pretty good from that and then going out there, I think his body is built up to be able to make this start. You know, even though you may not have been expecting it, but sometimes those also help too because you're, you know, like it's like from certain position players where you're not expecting to play that day and all of a sudden, hey, you get thrown in there last minute and all of a sudden you don't think and you just get to go. But I think from a physical standpoint, I think he was able to get his work in because he was preparing to start over there in Pittsburgh at some point. Obviously, can't control when you get that cold, but if he's feeling okay to go out there and do it, I mean, with a nice luxury that you have a guy like Shohei Ohtani kind of step in this moment and get it done. But he also understands what that's saying. It's September, it's playoff baseball. They need to get some wins.
Yeah. Very unselfish by Shohei Ohtani. I mean, a guy that, hey, obviously Glasnow can't go. I'll step in. Emergency start, I'll do it. Shows a lot to me, and he showed a lot to all of us and his teammates. When he got hit in Colorado, he got hit around, he stayed in that ball game, wanted to continue to stay in pitch. So good for Shohei Ohtani trying to go out there and pitch for his teammates. The biggest thing is make sure you're hydrated. 85 degrees there, and it's muggy. Baltimore, you got to stay with your hydration. You don't want him pulling anything.
All right, let's get our first look at Dave Roberts' lineup card to go up against Orioles right-hander Dean Kramer tonight. Dodgers traded to Baltimore in 2018 in that Manny Machado deal, if you remember that one. Shohei is at the top, also the surprise starting pitcher today. Then you see Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez, Michael Conforto batting fifth, playing left field, Andy Pages in center, Hesong Kim at second base, Dalton Rushing will do the catching again, and Miguel Rojas at third base batting ninth, Jerry.
I'm looking at Miguel Rojas. He has earned the right to play just about every single day. Really, he's an everyday player right now. You're going to monitor him because he's a little older. He gets the nod there at third base. He's having a great, great season.
You know, it turns out, I'm looking at Ha-Seong Kim. Okay, he's trying to get back into it. Hopefully he's healthy, but getting him some reps. But I'd like to see him kind of get a runway here to see if we can get him back and see if he can get back to where he was prior to that injury. Because if we can, that's really going to help the lineup.
Absolutely. Much more to come here on Leadoff LA. Alex Call making some memories for the Dodgers faithful on hand in Baltimore. No matter where they play around the country, the Dodgers always pack the stadiums. Tomorrow they will cross the 6 million mark for fans who have seen them in person here in 2025. Plus, the Dodgers on pace to have their worst record in 13 years. Miguel Rojas sums up the state of the team next, and we'll discuss how to fix it if possible. Maybe he'll have the Michael Jordan flu game in the NBA Finals today, dealing with that chest cold. Kirsten, thank you very much. In his last start against the Reds last Wednesday, Shohei picked up his first career win as a Dodger pitcher. He struck out 9 over 5 innings. Jerry, hopefully he can step in for Tyler Glasnow tonight, give them another really good outing despite dealing with the cold symptoms this week.
Yeah, listen, Shohei Ohtani, when he's on, he is so fun to watch. And as a hitter, tough to deal with. He used that curveball, that slow breaking ball, and also had that devastating fastball and slider. When he has those pitches working, he is fun to watch. So hopefully he has that fastball command early to go along with that slow 12-6 breaking ball. I like that he added that. He saw what was going on in Colorado. They were very aggressive early. Maybe that's what the league is going to try to go be aggressive against him. So, okay, if you're going to be aggressive, I'm going to mix in my pitches early, let you know you just can't sit on that fastball first pitch.
It's great. He's got a routine that Kirsten was talking about. Obviously, then now this all changes it, but he's stepping up. I mean, that's what's huge. He's stepping up, and like Dave Roberts, hopefully this jolts the team because the moment Glasnow goes down, you're going to have the bullpen step up. Yep. So, yeah, you're going, okay, he may not go 4 innings. You're right, because everybody has to step up and fill in for somebody going down or getting scratched. So you're like, all right, there's a domino effect to that. So it's not just Shohei, it's your bullpen. Like, okay, who's going to be the guy called upon to potentially start? But Shohei's like, listen, I'll do that. I can do that. And now you got the other guys following up right behind him, which is huge. So everybody's stepping up, and maybe this is a jolt. This is when you guys go, yes, these guys are all stepping up. We got to step up. We know it's September. Once again, we talk about this is time we're playing for something. So hopefully guys rally behind him. They score him a bunch of runs and get on the board.
Listen, and what we're seeing here, looking at right here, the big show. Glasnow goes down last second. Shohei goes, I'll do it. This is the big leagues. This is not like Little League. Hey, who wants to pitch today? This is the big leagues. In September, you need these wins. And the Baltimore Orioles, who should have been a whole lot better this year, they're finally playing winning baseball. They're a good, young, and up-and-coming team. Shohei goes, hey, I'll take the ball. I'll go out there. I'm going to do my thing. I'm telling you, man, this is something we've never seen before. Even Babe Ruth, and I respect Babe Ruth, arguably the greatest player ever, just focused on pitching, a little bit hitting, and then focused on hitting altogether and abandoning pitching.
Right.
This guy's doing it at the same time. This is so impressive.
And as both of you guys know, it goes a long way in that clubhouse when you see arguably the best player on the planet saying, you know what, I'm going to step up. Give me the ball tonight. I will pitch this game against the Orioles. Let's see.
Zolino was the third base coach to start the year, now at the helm, putting out this lineup. Jackson Holliday leading off at second base. Jeremiah Jackson just caught the last out at the top of the first. He bats second and right. Gunnar Henderson, the star shortstop, in the 3 spot, and Ryan Mountcastle will clean up behind the plate. Or excuse me, behind them. Shohei Ohtani taking over for Tyler Glasnow. Starts his outing with a low fastball at 98. Start number 12 on the year. His last turn was last Wednesday, beating the Reds 5 innings, 9 strikeouts. He threw 87 pitches. StatCast 3D is powered by Google Cloud.
Here's what he threw in that game, and you're going to see a lot of breaking balls. 52% of the pitches he threw against Cincinnati were either the curveball, the sweeper, or the slider. This is a guy who can touch 100 miles an hour.
Jumps ahead of Holliday, 1-2.
We saw way more curveballs, a career high in curveballs at 26, but I think he was getting tired of
given up 4 runs, at least 4 runs in back-to-back turns against the Angels and the Rockies. Holiday flies it to left. Conforto drifting toward the line, where he'll make the catch. If Shohei and the Dodger bullpen can get 7 strikeouts, you know what's coming tomorrow. It'll be a free Jumbo Jack after you buy a large drink.
Shohei has struggled a little bit more at the later half of his outings.
Jackson flies one to straightaway center field, but Pages has a read in front of the warning track. 2 out. Perhaps Ohtani finding out late that he was starting. Not as much planning for Baltimore. Rushing was doing that. It's a slowly hit ground ball by Henderson, and that's a 1-2-3 bottom of the first for Ohtani.
Slider, sweeper, and curveball.
On the ground to third. Gobbled up by Miguel Rojas. That's out number 1 in the second. And Miguel Rojas had some very candid and honest words last night after the finale in Pittsburgh.
So it has to be the whole has to feel that energy, that anger, that joy, all of those emotions, and be totally engaged.
Strike 3 swinging. Ohtani gets Colton Cowser for the second out of the second inning, his first K. Ohtani going to try and pick him up with his 2-2. And he does. 2 strikeouts in a scoreless second. He strands a 2-out single. Sayo down swinging. Dubbed off the plate, spins back fair. Ohtani fields it and tags him out. On a 3-1, Holiday is not going to swing at that. 2-out walk. First one issued by Shohei tonight. Ground ball backhanded, down by Betts. He picks up, he throws. Freddie, not in time. And so that extra beat was enough for Jeremiah Jackson. A bouncer back to the mound. Ohtani picks it up and throws to Freddie Freeman to strand a pair in the third. The 9th pitch from Ohtani. Cowser, check swing, and he went around on 101.
Little more.
Pitch number 70, a 1-2 to Rivera. Got him swinging. 2 gone.
He's going to the well. He's emptying the tank. Anything you want to say. Dave Roberts with a walkout to the mound. Possibly going to take him out just to protect him. But boy, you would think he would want this next batter.
It's the lefty Dylan Beavers coming to the plate. Ohtani salutes Mountcastle on third. Has some fun with it. Anthony Bonda is going to try and get the last out of the 4th inning when we come back on Sportsnet LA.